America have ruined the world for everyone.
That's
sad. Happened, doesn't it? Yeah.
Good one.
And
yeah, but you're a white middle class, Rob, so you'll be fine.
I'll be fine. Yeah, be alright for me. I don't care. Till World War III happens.
Yeah.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
We wants to arm Japan and South Korea.
We'll be on their side then. So.
We'll be the Nazis. That's what we'll be.
Yeah, but if you use a nuclear weapon, that's the whole world.
Invest in Voltec. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Sad. We're all sad. Everyone's sad, apart from the people who actually want it to happen, who should be sad.
Bernie.
Because they'll realise that they've made a massive mistake.
Welcome to the show. We talk about real film movies, which are both the same thing, but we'll talk about the news and reviews and your views on film and TV. And comic books too. We'd love to hear from you. We hope you enjoy it too. So subscribe to Real Film Podcasts and Review.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Real Film Podcast. This is episode number 17, and we're going to talk about two great films that we've watched this week, as well as a trailer or two. And then we're going to talk about prequels and whether they're ever actually a good idea. Matt is over in Manchester.
Hello.
Don't know why he never gets the cue straight away, does he?
Satellite
It's
delay.
always slow, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Manchester's quite far
It's
away.
slow, the internet's slow.
Yeah, you're slow.
Yeah.
And I'm joined by Hattie here in Nottingham. Shall we start the show
Yeah.
with the news?
Okay. What's been going on in the news? What's been going on in the movie news? Well, that actor you like's done another thing. There's a few more reboots and a sequel too. And that other guy got caught with some cocaine. It's the news.
We're going to talk about a trailer.
Yes.
The new Wonder Woman trailer. Has everyone seen the trailer?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Looks all right.
Yeah, I actually think the first one looked better than this one.
Yeah, I did. Have you also
I
noticed?
think some of the action...
It's really delayed.
Some of the action is...
It's because my internet's... Some of the action looks really great and some of it looks really terrible. So it should be interesting. 'Cause
Yeah.
it looks like they've gone for two complete different styles of action. They've gone for kind of realistic and brutal and then over-the-top slow-mo, like exaggerated sort of thing. So it's kind of a bit strange how they've gone for two different... They've not like picked a style. They've just gone, oh, what's going to look cool for this shot? Okay, what's going to look cool for this shot? So I hope that it does sort of meld together well.
Yeah. Also, Gal Gadot has like one line in the trailer, which isn't fantastic, given she's the lead character.
The trailer doesn't...
Chris Pine looks like he has a lot bigger effects on the story than she does. Which is a bit worrying, but...
Maybe they're just trying to go, oh, look, she's mysterious and stuff.
But I'm not still convinced that she's actually very good at acting.
We've not seen her enough to know.
Yeah, she's been in Fast and Furious.
What's that other
Always
thing which she's
a
going to be
gold
in?
star recommendation.
She's going to be in something soon.
That shit film with John Hamm, and
Oh, yeah.
which is supposed to be a bit shit. But, yeah.
Well, maybe we should go see that just in case.
I think the action looks cool and the aesthetic looks cool.
The thing that they've got to deal with, though, is the like, lasso of truth. So how
That's
do you...
the thing they have to deal with.
No, but I'm just thinking, like, from a stylistic point of view, if you're going to do all nitty-gritty action, you can't really do that with a magic lasso. I think they should have just gone all-out slow-mo for everything instead of nitty-gritty.
Just the whole film in slow motion.
Yeah.
That's going to be a long film.
Yeah, and with the all the way through. No,
Nice.
Maybe they
Good
should have
point.
done the gone with the big old actiony thing because it is quite magical. If they make it too down to earth,
Do you reckon the
I don't know if it would work as
invisible
well.
jet will show up?
No, I don't know how they'd work that in. It's quite.
Just do it. Don't explain. Just do it.
Just have her like
Straight in there.
Yeah, it's a bit too out.
Yeah, it's a bit out there. I didn't know if they were going to do the lasso, but it looks like they are. So that's quite good. I mean, that's
Yeah.
quite important.
Yeah, it can be, but I don't feel like... I think like you could just ignore it.
No, I like.
You don't need it.
Keep
Like, it's
it.
not necessary. Well, she used it in Batman v Superman.
Did she?
Yeah,
So it didn't look the same.
Doomsday
though.
at the end. didn't she? Yeah, because she ties him up.
She used what, the last two?
Yeah, to tie. Yeah.
She did.
Right.
He didn't confess anything.
Well, you don't have anything to say.
So yeah, I don't know. It looks all right.
If you can't really,
It looks all right,
You can't
but then
really
again, we
communicate, can
said this is terrible.
Yeah,
This is going
we're
to be
gonna
so
have
annoying to edit.
get over it.
Go for it. Yeah, no, it looks fine. But then we said Batman v Superman looks amazing, and we said Suicide Squad looked really good, and they were both
Yeah.
a pile of shite. So yeah,
I think it's just like the tone that they're trying to get. They're trying to get all the realism,
they don't have any idea what they're
and
doing.
they're trying to get the
problem.
magic. And Marvel's got it right. They've got the magic and they've got the realism, and they've put it together. DC just, I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what they're trying to aim for.
Well, they don't know
doing
what they're trying to do.
best
That's the
of- best
problem.
of both,
They
aren't
don't know. Should we move on?
Mhm.
Go on.
Whose turn? My turn.
Yeah.
That game that I love, that's awesome, Neko Atsumi. There is apparently going to be a live action film of the game.
Why do you keep looking for me for reassurance? Just say
Because
your
you
point.
were the one that told me this.
Just go
So,
with it.
is it live action?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's about this guy who's supposed to be writing a novel. And then he sees, hello kitty. He sees a cat in his garden. And then he starts putting out things in his garden to entice more cats. It sounds so Japanese. It sounds like all the Murakami books that I've read.
Yeah, and it sounds like a terrible game, and
It
it'll
sounds
probably
like it's
be
gonna be an
a
awesome
terrible,
film.
terrible
No,
film.
because it's not. It's going to be really good. You liked that Norwegian wood film that we went to watch. I don't know. I'd be really interested to see some good Japanese film because so far,
But Japanese film based on a video game, on an app.
well, it
That's
didn't
not-
translate from a book very well, but it sounds like they're translating it into a nice sort of story.
I've got some real news that Sean Astin has been cast in Stranger Things Series 2, which is cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Sean Astin's pretty good.
Oh,
Sam in the Lord of the Rings, and he doesn't seem to have done much considering how good he is in that film. He doesn't seem to have actually done a lot of things, but he seems like quite a cool guy. So
He did Click
looking forward to seeing him in that.
with Adam Sandler.
Is he in Click?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
he's
Oh, he did 50,
Kate Beckinsale's
50 First Dates as well.
husband, isn't
Is it 50 First Dates?
You don't have to repeat everything we say.
Yeah, is that
We're
the-
saying it because it's true.
Which one is he?
I think he is. Is he? Is that the Adam Sandler one?
No, it's
where
Click. It's Click.
He goes out with.
And this
No,
is-
he's in another Adam Sandler one.
He's in two Adam Sandler
where
films.
she's got. Yeah, isn't it where the woman's got the amnesia and she just lives the same day over and over
Yeah,
again?
That's the one.
Is that 50 First Dates?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's in that as the brother.
Oh, right.
He's the only. I think he's the only okay thing about that film. He's got. He's like a protein gym buff guy, and he just walks about.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Jokes all the time.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. But he's good. Isn't
Yeah,
he?
that's good news.
We like him.
He is good.
He seems like a really nice man as well.
I think he really fits with the look of the show as well. You just see him in there. 80s kid. He's from the Goonies.
He looks fit.
He's literally from the Goonies, and that's like
Yeah.
perfect.
True. He doesn't look like that anymore. That
Yeah,
was like
well,
30 years ago.
I wonder how much of it is just fanboy casting. They've just gone. Yeah,
Possibly.
Sean Astin's not doing much. Let's get him in.
Get him in. He's good.
Well, we support it, whatever the reason.
He is good.
Anyway, good news. Let's talk about what we've all been doing this week.
Guess he went to the cinema this week. We saw some films and we watched some Netflix. Listen up to our ill-informed opinions, and then go and see it all anyway. Because who knows, not us, but we'll rate it anyway.
Matt, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll just say my stuff,
Yeah.
and then I just won't reply to any stuff. It'll be.
I mean, that
I've
sounds
been
like a
reading
really
The
funny
Martian
joke,
again. Everyone.
but I didn't hear it.
It's
It's
just like cutting out
I
as
just
well.
said. I said I'll just say all my bit, and then I won't try and interrupt any of you guys. So I'll just say I won't respond to anything. I'll just make statements about what I've been doing. But I've been reading The Martian again, as regular listeners will know. I've been slowly working my way through the book. I'm on about page 100 now, getting into it. It's good. It's a good book. I've also been watching a YouTube games playthrough, so trying to think of the best way to explain that, by IGN, called Prepare to Try.
Very good, isn't it?
Which is that playing Dark Souls, which is pretty good fun. Pretty enjoyable if you're into... Well, you don't even have to be into games, really, the game or anything. You just got they're pretty funny guys, so they make it fun no matter what they're doing.
What are you laughing at?
But that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Someone's gone into hysterics for some reason. What's so funny?
No idea.
You're gonna make...
What?
Carry on.
You finished?
Yeah.
Do you want to share a joke with everyone? Or you just...
You're off and over.
Do you want to take yourself out for a few minutes? Get a glass of water, some fresh air.
Oh, good. Don't look at me like that.
Please leave.
I'm okay.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it, Matt? The
I've forgotten what we were talking about.
Prepare to Try.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, it is good.
It is good.
Check it out.
It's good when you watch like people who have like witty banter play games, isn't it?
It is. I love it. It's really good.
People
it's
just having a good time.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
Speaking of when people get together and play games, we did a little video which is now on the internet where we and Paul played through The Last of Us successfully, kind of, for the first episode, and that's on YouTube.
Yes,
yeah, I watched it. It's really funny.
It's pretty funny. Some good
Very
laughs.
funny.
Some good knowledge from Paul. He's played the game about 30 times, apparently. That's a lot of hours.
That's a lot of hours.
But yeah, it's a lot of good stuff. We have a good laugh. Check it out if you're interested. Even if you don't like games, it's a good story.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a very big gamer, but I enjoy watching. I enjoyed the
Prepare to Try.
Prepare to Try. Yeah, I enjoyed that. It's really funny. And I'm always a watcher of games because I can't play them and I get frustrated because I can't use the controllers. But when the game's like got a good story, I don't mind that I'm not the one playing it because
it's good.
Cause it's good. So
Prepare to Try is good as well. Check that out.
Prepare to
and
Try.
check ours out.
Yeah.
And we'll have some more episodes up whenever Matt finishes editing them.
They're edited very nicely, Matt. Well done.
Yeah, really good. Really
Yeah,
good.
they look really
Matt's done a good job.
Thanks.
And thanks to Paul.
That's,
Thanks, Paul. You're funny. Come on our podcast again.
It cost me 27 grand to learn to edit like that, so, I hope it should be good.
Money well spent.
Yes.
Yeah, so check it out.
Money well spent to make 3 YouTube videos.
I mean, it's all about YouTube.
Yeah.
It's all about YouTube.
Eventually it starts to pay for itself.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If you want to help us on Patreon. Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. Anyway. What did we do this week?
We got a kitty cat.
We did get a cat.
Yeah.
Called Frodo.
Frodo
Latest member of the
Baggins.
team.
He's
Who you
gorgeous.
probably hear us shouting at occasionally now.
We're trying to encourage him to socialise. Hello. He just come
Here he is.
downstairs.
Speak of the devil.
Hello, clever. So that's what we've done.
We got a cat, and we also watched 2 great films.
2 great films.
Nocturnal
both
Animals.
With Amy Adams.
She's pretty good.
She does a lot of stuff.
Well, she's done a lot recently.
Yeah,
hasn't she?
and it's all
because
good.
she's good.
She's really good.
She's had 5 Oscar nominations already. She'll probably get at least
Bloody
1 out of
hell.
this.
Does that split her vote? Like if someone votes for her?
Well, I imagine... I mean, yeah, she'd be leading actress for both, wouldn't she?
Yeah. So
They'd
if
probably
she
just pick
gets...
one, to be honest,
Okay.
I'd say.
Yeah.
They'd probably pick.
Fair play. Which one would they pick?
I'd say she's probably better in Arrival.
There's more, yeah.
There's more for us to do in Arrival. But Nocturnal Animals
Nocturnal Animals,
is a story about
story. Oh, yeah, sorry. Story about...
a woman who kind of broke up with her ex-husband like 20 years previously. And she's not been in contact with him. But she gets a manuscript in the post that he has written about or inspired by her and their relationship together. And dedicated to her. And it's really creepy.
Yeah.
Very creepy. Very sort of twisted.
It's
and you kind of see it through her perspective, but it's played out sort of real time, so it's like Jake Gyllenhaal plays her ex-husband, but he also plays the like protagonist in the story.
Yeah.
And it's really like cleverly draws parallels between her life at the moment and where her life has ended up and kind of where their relationship kind of went wrong and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so creepy.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
But it's really good.
Yeah.
Michael Shannon's really good in it. Amy Adams is obviously really good in it. Jake Gyllenhaal's really good.
Yeah.
It's such a good film.
does creepy so well.
But he's not creepy in it, though.
Is he ever not creepy,
Like,
though?
he's not a creepy character.
No,
the character
but
he plays isn't creepy. But
he does all of these creepy films. What's the least creepy film he's ever done? I can't even think of one.
Don't know.
Oh, Brokeback Mountain. He's not creepy in Brokeback Mountain.
Unless you're homophobic.
In which case?
Like America. In which case, that's probably creepy. Donald Trump would find that creepy. Second film, Arrival.
Yeah.
Sci-fi. It's not really an epic. Because in some ways, it's like you could draw parallels with like Interstellar because it's like a sci-fi. It's like a higher level sci-fi.
It's a philosophical
which
sci-fi.
is like philosophical sci-fi, but it doesn't have...
higher level philosophical.
It doesn't have that sort of...
I like those two in the same sentence.
It doesn't have that sort of grand scale that Interstellar does, but it still has... It's still very character driven and...
It's more like there's a massive thing going on, but it's so centred on this one person
or two people.
Yeah, and their own...
And you can't really talk about it too much because it'll ruin the story, because it's like, this is a story. Okay, there's aliens have landed, and Amy Adams is basically a linguist who is tasked with deciphering what the aliens are trying to say to them.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Renner's there, he's like a physicist.
To try and understand whatever.
Yeah. But then kind of as the story goes on, it kind of gets a lot deeper and like layers sort of unfold and you realise it's very like, it is quite Nolan-esque in that way where it's kind of, you get the basic premise and it's like, oh right, no, that's not what we thought it was.
Yeah.
It's very sort of clever.
And you do really...
And really, really good. And really kind of like, it's very sad actually.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that...
But also quite nice.
Yeah. Bittersweet.
Two great films.
Yeah, and both of them don't patronise the audience as well.
Yeah.
I feel like you're left to your own, working things out yourself. It's not all spelled out for you, and it doesn't need to be. And it's all about your own interpretation. And I think that's, it's positive on these ones, especially Arrival, because you could be so prescriptive with it, and you could be like really basic about it and explain things really stupidly. But it really does
Independence Day
trust the audience.
Resurgence.
Yeah, I know. It really does trust the audience. I did get a lot of parallels with Independence Day, actually.
Well, it is, but it's like for intelligent people.
Yeah, it's as if they just... Yeah.
Oh, imagine if Jeff Goldblum was in Arrival. That would just make it the perfect film.
I know, damn it.
Anyway, two great films. You should definitely check them out. Are you going to check them out, Matt?
I'm definitely going to check them both out. I've really wanted to watch both of them anyway, so...
Well, you're going to do a double bill.
I am, but we've actually got Arrival on at the cinema I work at, so I'm going to go and watch that for free.
Oh, sweet.
and then I'll go... No, we've not now. I'll go... That's
strange.
It's not strange. You've just been explaining the plot. Does that sound like mainstream cinema?
It's not our cinema.
Yeah, it's not our mainstream.
Northern Manchester are going to come and watch.
Scum of Bury.
Yeah.
That's racist.
Don't think so.
Fair enough. You should come to watch films at our film places.
This isn't place for your personal conversation.
You should come visit Nottingham and come to the Broadway cinema with us. It's really cool.
No.
Well,
it's great when you just derail the whole conversation like that.
Carry on.
Just to make it nonsense.
What are we on now? General discussion.
Are you going to go and watch Fantastic Beasts, Rob, next week?
Probably, yeah. We could do an episode on that if you want, maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking we should do a Harry Potter episode on it.
Yeah, do I have to watch Harry Potter though?
Yeah. Watch some of them at least.
Are they on?
Or watch.
Sky?
I'm sure there's a recap. Yeah, they are on Sky. Yeah. I'm sure there's a recap video on YouTube or something you could watch.
Yeah,
Harry Potter in 5 minutes or something.
I know what happens.
Yeah, but like everything stupid with Harry Potter, there's got to be that on YouTube.
True.
But yeah, that'd be quite good if we do that and then talk about the new one as well.
Yeah. Cool.
So I'm working the midnight showing of that. Well, closing the midnight, not on floor, but on concessions.
Oh, good stuff. So let's move on to the main topic this week. We're going to talk about prequels and whether prequels are ever a good idea. Are there any good prequels? What are the worst prequels? That's what we're going to talk about. Insert music.
What music?
Don't know yet. Star Wars. Maybe put in the American national anthem. I just play that for every single theme tune.
That little when there were those little girls doing the Trump cheerleader thing.
Yeah,
put that in.
I'll do that.
Grab him by the pussy.
Matt, are prequels ever a good idea?
If you have something original to say that's going to only enhance the world of that film and not tarnish or make changes or contradict things in the original, then yeah, go for it.
Oh, cheers.
But I feel like most people don't do any of that. They just go, let's make some money.
Yeah, George Lucas. Yeah, I mean, I think stuff like, it's like when the Han Solo film got announced, and I'm like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
Han Solo's origin story is surely A New Hope. Yeah. That's when he becomes the person he is in Star Wars. I don't really care about him just being a gallivant around the galaxy, gambling and stuff. Like, the whole interesting thing about Han Solo is he goes from that point to a genuinely kind of decent guy. That's the whole interesting part about his storyline, not him just being a bit of a dick. Surely?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. There's loads more interesting Star Wars stories that could be told. That's not one of the ones I need to see, really.
Yeah,
it's quite sad.
As you say, it's not like he's old in A New Hope, and there's this whole life that he's lived before it. It's just, yeah, I'm sure he did interesting things, but we just presume he swaggered about being a smuggler and just go and tell a different story. Don't just tell us, because as you say, if it's just him being cocky because you can't have him being the hero, because he's not a hero when we meet him in A New Hope. So he becomes the hero by the end of the film trilogy. So if he does anything even remotely heroic in this prequel, you just go, well, that doesn't make sense, because why is he such an idiot in A New Hope and everything then?
Yeah.
I would like to see an Obi-Wan film when he's on Tatooine.
Yeah, because there's all those... Yeah, I was just about to say, there's all these interim years where we have no idea what he did.
Just chilling, probably.
Which could be interesting.
Get a tan in that desert. Farming some moisture. Whatever that means.
Yeah, just an hour and a half of him doing
just
that.
Just a bucket, mate, collecting rain. That's what moisture farming is.
I imagine it's something like what we do to the kitty litter when it goes all clumpy.
Well, maybe. But then you eat it or drink it.
Squeeze it out.
That's disgusting. Anyway, shall we talk about good prequels?
Yeah, are there any?
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes, the new... I know it's like a reboot, but it's also a prequel.
Yeah.
They're really good.
They are good.
Because it's an interesting story. Like, how did that happen is an interesting story.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I really like those films, actually. I kind of forget how much I like them.
They're really good.
I don't watch them for ages. I rewatch them and go, actually, it's a really, really great, really entertaining, well done, thought out film.
And Andy Serkis.
Definitely worth... is awesome.
He's the best ape I've ever seen acting.
The other guy's good as well. Toby. The guy played the thing in...
Kebbell?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh,
He's good.
what he looks like.
That's
One of
the
them.
other one.
Oh, the other one.
The crazy one.
Two Good Apes.
Yeah. All the good apes are in Planet of the Apes.
Good ape.
All the best
actors.
film apes are probably in that film, really.
Yeah,
I would
mean,
say.
Yeah.
I would throw that out there.
Good aping about.
Yeah. All soz.
Hysterics, phone going off.
Oh,
Anything else you want to
to
intro
Oh.
the podcast with?
soz.
Any more good prequels?
X-Men First Class is good.
X-Men First Class is good because I think because it's further enough back, and it's actually it's a story that is interesting to know.
Yeah. It still kind of feels like all of the X-Men have been tarnished for me, and I can't really enjoy any of them.
Yeah,
properly.
because there's like bleed over from all the shit films.
Yeah. I'm sure there are other prequels that are good.
Do you want me to read some out? I got a bit of feedback.
I was going to say, are we going to class Casino Royale as a prequel? It is a reboot, but it's also a prequel because, like, I think Casino Royale was one of the earlier ones, but since then we've just fallen straight into whoever takes over being the fully fledged James Bond, whereas in Casino Royale, he isn't a 007 at the start. Well, he becomes it after the opening titles, but he's still not exactly the James Bond that we know and everything until the very end of the film. And you even don't hear the James Bond theme tune until the very, very last shot of the film.
Yeah, no, that's a good film. Good shout.
Good shout. Good.
That was out like 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Crazy.
Yeah.
No way.
Do you want another good prequel?
What?
Godfather 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's kind
It's a
of
sequel
a
slash
prequel.
prequel. It's told in a clever way.
It is very
It's not just this is what happened before this thing
Right.
happened.
Oh, it's nice. I like that one.
Interchange, parallels,
Yeah.
all those things that happen in films.
Mm-hmm. I like all them.
And it's an interesting story again. It's like,
It's interesting in its own right. It would work.
yeah, I think the good thing
Outside
about
of
a prequel is that it has to work as a standalone film
Yeah.
and shouldn't require any knowledge of.
Yeah, but then
Or should it? Or should it?
But then you do always have the issue of when they're all out, whatever films there are, what order do you watch them in? Once they're all out,
Well, Star Wars obviously you have to do 4, 5, 6
4, 5, 6.
because you need the Darth Vader reveal.
Yeah.
Because if
Otherwise
you
it's
watch
ruined.
the prequels, it's just everything. If you
So
watch
do
the
4, 5,
prequels
6,
first, it ruins
1, 2,
everything.
3, 7.
I'd probably just go
4, 5,
4,
6,
5,
7.
6, 7. Just
And then
don't-
Rogue One.
Yeah,
Where would
watch
you put
Rogue One first.
Okay.
I'd imagine. I don't know. I've not seen it.
Well,
It's
we'll
not out.
see if it's good, and
Yeah.
then decide. But yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point actually because
should it work either way? I mean,
think it should
Star
do,
Wars
but I don't
is
think it should
fucked
ruin.
up there in that you can't watch it in the order in which it's linear.
I don't mind if. I think Star Wars did it wrong in that it was kind of like. I mean, they're shit, but also. It didn't make Anakin's descent into Darth Vader interesting or
No.
compelling in any way. So it kind of. It's hard to imagine if that was interesting and compelling. Would it be a good prequel story?
Yeah.
I'm not sure it would be. I don't really care who he was before he became Darth Vader. It's not.
Sort of takes
It's
out
not an
the
interesting story
feel
to me.
of
Yeah,
him.
it totally ruins the character of Darth Vader.
Yeah, the mystery of him is more interesting.
I don't think there's any point in that where, when you're watching the original trilogy, do you think, oh, I really want to know what that guy was like as a 10-year-old?
Yeah.
I wish he was a kid. I'd love to see him as a kid, little rascal running
Well,
around.
I can
But he was a
understand
right
the
little
whole-
rascal,
the whole,
wasn't he?
How did he get there? But then I think
I don't think that's
explored,
interesting.
That's explored so much better in Kylo Ren.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just give
That's
the character
how you do it.
give
You just
the
give them
character
depth.
depth. Because
Yeah.
Darth Vader, I mean, let's face it, is incredibly one-dimensional.
But he doesn't need to be because he's just a presence.
Yeah,
of
he is,
fear.
yeah,
he's
he
like
is, yeah.
the bogeyman. You don't see him too
Which
much
is why
because he shouldn't.
adding extra stuff to him in a prequel is a
It's just,
terrible
it takes
idea.
away from his character.
There's Kylo Ren, yeah, it's like, this is... I think the good way of giving someone's backstory is not just, let's make a trilogy about them. Let's actually
Yeah.
just give them interesting backstory in the film they're actually in.
Yeah,
And that's why the
exactly.
Star Wars prequels are just completely useless and pointless. There's nothing there. I mean, something like showed the rise of the Empire
Yeah.
might be interesting.
I mean, that may be what we're seeing in Rogue One.
More trade agreements. That's what I want.
Yeah, exactly.
More Senate meetings.
I need to know how all
trade
this stuff
agreements,
is happening, politically.
Viceroys, all that stuff.
Otherwise,
That's what I wanted.
how will we know not to replicate it in our future?
Exactly.
So that's Star Wars.
Let's give a pause for Matt to...
Oh, was I supposed to say something then?
He can
you
do if
can
he
do,
wants.
yeah. This is your turn now.
I
Matt.
agree.
Good
I
point.
agree. Star Wars prequels are poo.
Okie dokie.
Should we go on to some bad prequels?
Yeah.
I've got maybe one other good one
Oh, sweet. Go ahead.
that most people don't realise is a prequel because it has no impact on the fact that it actually is a prequel, which is a second Indiana Jones film, Temple of Doom, is actually a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark. But it makes no sense because it's never. I don't think it's ever actually mentioned. It has no.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
No, I didn't. I'd
Yeah,
have to rewatch
Yes.
it.
Yeah, but that's it. It doesn't make any sort of significant reference to the fact that it's before Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I wonder what their thinking was as to why they decided to just go, oh yeah, let's just set it before the previous film, because it doesn't reveal anything new about his character. It's just the same old Indiana Jones. So
Yeah. No, I didn't
Strange.
realise that.
yeah, there
Whenever
you
I
go.
watch Indiana Jones, I usually only watch Raiders and then kind of stop.
Yeah, they're fine, aren't they? They're kind of good fun on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, it's showing on ITV2, and it's got breaks for you to go to the toilet or do whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't think I ever really sit down and go, I'm gonna watch some Indiana Jones.
Just watch it for John Williams.
Yeah, John Williams' score is pretty decent.
It's pretty good, isn't it? Pretty good. So that's all the good prequels we can think of, really. I mean, The Hobbit, are they good or are they bad?
Yeah, I've got them on my list. I think that there's some very, very good elements in there, but I think the disappointing prequels, I wouldn't necessarily say that they're bad. I think if they just came out as films, I think you'd watch them and just go, yeah, that was cool. That was a cool fantasy film. But because of the expectation, they almost feel like bad films.
I think they do
Whereas
suffer from, like, I know the stuff with the sort of the White Council and all that is really interesting, but I still think that would have been more interesting if Peter Jackson didn't assume that you'd already watched Lord of the Rings, or assume that you hadn't watched Lord of the Rings. It's kind of too. It feels like he's trying to tie it in too much. I feel like that was really heavy-handed,
Right.
and it felt like, oh, let's make this the same as Lord of the Rings, where you didn't really need to do that, to be honest. And I think that's
Yeah, I think
it
it's
suffers from being a prequel rather than being the film that was made first.
Right. Yeah,
I
that
think-
makes sense.
I think the stuff with like
I think it's
Frodo
just the
when it-
curse of the prequel.
The thing that makes it not a bad prequel, though, is that there's base material that it's based on.
Yeah,
I mean, it's often the ones that are just sort of a film's done well, and then they think, oh, let's make some more money out of this. Let's explore whatever we didn't properly explore in the film itself. Just do it again.
yeah,
Let's try and add more to this film to make it better by doing another one.
yeah. That's what it felt like.
But if there's extra like material that it's based on, you can do a lot more with it, and you can do it successfully. It's just a shame that Lord of the Rings was so good. The Hobbit was never going to match up to it.
Yeah, I think The Hobbit did definitely suffer from being after Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
where I think Peter Jackson was in this middle ground of like, do I tie it in
Or do I just
or
make it
do I not?
standalone?
And he
Yeah.
sort of went for a weird kind of middle ground where it didn't really fit. And he
Yeah.
kind of like, it felt shoehorned in rather than like, I think you could have had Gandalf stuff completely separate from the Hobbit stuff. I don't think he felt like he tried to tie it in too much, which is
Yeah.
my issue. And that, again, that suffers because it was a prequel, which is why I don't like prequels. Let's talk about some bad ones.
Okie dokie.
Star Wars. We've already spoken about it,
Very bad.
but I mean they're just
Very,
bad.
very bad.
They're just bad films
Yeah.
in general.
They're hard to watch.
They are hard to watch, and the story's not interesting enough.
No.
The story's just not. It's not a story that needs to be told.
It's kind of entertaining for kids. Like, I loved it when I was younger, but I think that's just because there's like lots of aliens and stuff moving around, and
Good fights.
yeah.
I think they're just like bad films. Like I was just saying with The Hobbit, they feel disappointing because of the expectation of it. But I think if they weren't a prequel, they'd be considered just an all right good film. Whereas Star Wars came with so much expectation and then was still absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, It was. Any of the bad ones?
There probably are some.
I did write some down.
You've forgotten about them.
Wasn't Prometheus supposed to be a bad prequel?
Yep.
I've heard that that's disappointing.
No, Prometheus. I watched Prometheus and I thought it was all right. And I think some people think it's okay, but it kind of didn't really explain anything. It was a bit weird because you thought, like, I've never actually watched Alien, but I was led to believe that this film was kind of, it doesn't really explain everything it was said it was going to explain, and then it just set itself. It does. Even I could tell, and I've never watched Alien, that it was setting itself up for a sequel.
Oh yeah.
So the whole film was basically leading itself up to kind of go, okay, yeah, you're gonna have to come watch the next one to actually find out any of the answers that you want, which is kind of really annoying in a film. I mentioned X-Men First Class, which is good, and Days of Future Past is good, but
Apocalypse.
X-Men, Wolverine,
That's two then.
Oh yeah.
Fight and stuff is bad.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's an awful film.
Very. Again, that could have been interesting because everyone likes Wolverine, and he's got a really interesting backstory that wasn't fully explored in the main X-Men universe. It was just hinted at. So that could have been really interesting, and they just sort of fluffed it by
Making a shit.
Well, I
film.
don't really know what. Yeah, I can't even really tell you what they even tried to do with that film. They just made a complete hash of it, really.
Yeah, I just lost interest in prequels as a general thing. I don't care about what happened before the story happened. It's just like how far do you go back? What's the point if you're just going to keep going back? I feel like, actually, we talked about this a bit before, but Fantastic Beasts could be like quite an interesting prequel because it's far enough back to not have any impacts on the characters that were actually attached to from Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, sorry. But it kind of gives you a lot of backstory into that world, which can be quite interesting. It's a completely different story.
That said, Dumbledore's supposed to be making an appearance.
Isn't Johnny Depp playing Grindelwald?
Grindelwald.
Yeah. But surely isn't he a bit old for that? When's this film based? Isn't it like early 1900s?
This is
like the
20s. This is around World War I time, I think.
But Grindelwald, surely he wasn't 50.
No,
because isn't Dumbledore like 100 and something? Maybe is he 150? I don't know how old he is actually. Maybe it is right.
It's like 150.
150. Oh, maybe it's right then.
Maybe it makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, because Harry Potter takes place in the 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, that's a good point.
So is Dumbledore going to be like de-aged?
No, they're going to use.
No, I think they'll just.
Michael Gambon is not going back for that.
I was going to say.
He is.
I can't imagine Michael Gambon being like, "Oh yeah, no, I'll do another one."
I'll do that. I'll do it in mocap, and you can de-age my face.
Because he didn't give a shit, did he?
Who'd be a good Dumbledore?
A young Dumbledore.
Stephen Fry.
No,
I was just about to say that. Steve.
If he lost a bit of weight.
He's done the audio tapes.
Yeah, exactly. And he's perfect as Dumbledore. That's always in my head. I always imagine his voice and his characteristics. And him on QI as well. It's just Dumbledore. Watch QI.
Yeah.
I just imagine it was Dumbledore sat there and it'd just be the same thing.
I feel like he's too in there already.
Nah, he'd be great. Ian McKellen.
Well, I mean...
He's too old.
Would that he were Dumbledore in the original
Someone...
series.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Every role for Benedict Cumberbatch. He could do it.
You're just naming actors you really like.
But I'm just
I don't know
thinking
if
it out
Benedict
loud.
Cumberbatch would be...
He's interesting looking, isn't he? He's
Michael
nice.
Fassbender, blonde beard.
Nah, he's too mean, Fassbender.
Yeah, he's not got the warmth.
He's too rough, isn't he?
It's too rough.
It's too street.
Tom Hiddleston. He's got the warmth.
He's a bit street though, isn't he?
Oh no, he's got the warmth.
Yeah, maybe.
only
No,
think
he's
of
really
the
nice though,
night
isn't he?
manager.
Yeah,
He's really
nice. Yeah, he's a nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston, T. Hiddy.
Yeah, see, there you go.
He'd be good.
Heard it here first.
Get it done. Definitely be someone shit now.
Yeah, it will be.
Maybe it's Eddie Redmayne. Maybe secretly he's Dumbledore under a pseudonym.
Could be. Did you hear that he auditioned for Star Wars?
For Kylo Ren, yeah.
He did, like, really badly or something. I didn't read all of it. What did he do?
I don't know. He's way too posh for that.
He basically he came in and he knew the casting director because she'd cast him for quite a few things, and apparently just kept doing all these weird voices because with things like Star Wars, because they're so coveted in the initial audition processes, you don't get the script in case it gets leaked, so they give you a script from a different film, but say you're auditioning for the villain of Star Wars, so read this script but play it as a villain from Star Wars. And apparently he was just putting all these sort of Darth Vader-esque voices on and did loads. And apparently the casting director said to him, "Have you got any more?" And he was just like, "No."
Done. I'm out.
That was the end of it. Yeah, pretty much.
No, I think they cast Adam Driver really well in that.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, Adam Driver's
else playing that.
Adam Driver would be a good Grindelwald. Is that his name? Am I saying that right?
Or Snape, good young Snape.
Oh yeah, he's a bit greasy, isn't he?
Oh, he'd be a really good Snape. Perfect.
If they ever wanted to do a Snape prequel.
See, that actually...
Which would definitely happen.
That actually would be more, like, that would be quite interesting, I think.
I know it wouldn't. His story's told in Harry Potter. His whole backstory's told.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's a really shit backstory.
You know
you don't need it.
He gets
Snape's.
friend-zoned by this girl, and then, like, he's in love with her forever, so he's a massive dick to her son. I mean...
Yeah, but you just said you just said you wanted his backstory.
Yeah, because
shit.
No, because I want something more, because it's shit. I want to empathise with him, because at the moment I don't. I think he's a dick. Why would you name your child after the guy that was in love with your mum and never got over it because she didn't love him back? So sad.
And then you name your kid after him. Yeah.
Exactly. What about, Tonks and all them that died? Remus.
Spoilers.
Yeah, not Tonks, Remus.
All his kids have got like 7 names.
Yeah.
There is one called
None
Remus.
of them called Remus.
No, none of them called Remus.
No, there isn't.
Oh, he's shit anyway.
No, there's Severus and Albus. Severus, Albus, and what's the other one? Don't know.
Isn't it one called Severus Albus?
James.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a name.
Yeah, there's one called Severus Albus. There's one called James, and then you just go, yeah, what about your godfather and your other dad's best mate that both died for you? Or, you could name it after the teacher that hated you all his life and only did anything nice for you because he had the hots for your mum, or the guy that raised you for slaughter for your whole life. Yeah. Let's name my kids after them, not the two people that actually sacrificed their lives.
After the horny, greasy teacher who hated me.
Yeah,
if
pretty
there's
much.
some way to tell his story and not
I
find
think his
him
story's quite
irritating and creepy and sad.
But the fact that his story, like as an undercover death, like him being a Death Eater and his him being
that
undercover
aspect
Death
of
Eater
it
is
is
really
fine.
interesting.
The thing of him having this intense hatred for Harry because
He
he's
doesn't
the
have any
spawn
intense
of...
hatred for Harry.
Well, he
can't look at him because he has the same eyes.
Yeah,
and that's
that's
painful to
also
him.
creepy.
It's the power of love.
For the power of love.
But he didn't do anything bad to him. He saved his life loads of times.
And he's mean all the time.
He's just jealous of him.
He's mean all the time.
Yeah, but he saved his life loads of times.
He's jealous because he's the daughter. That's so Freudian.
Oh God!
No, I don't like it. I want to see. I want to see
you're
a
not supposed
film
to
of
like
it so that
you're supposed
so
to be
it
like, that's
makes
really
sense.
tragic.
Oh, it's not tragic. It's sad.
Sad.
It's sad.
Fucking sad.
It's fucking sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's supposed to be sad. It's supposed to be like, oh, that's really sad.
Yeah,
that's really pathetic.
I'm like one of the most empathetic people in the world. I'll cry if someone cries. But Snape, I'm just like, nah.
Wash your hair, mate.
She didn't fancy you. Get over it. It's really creepy if you follow her around and then be a dick to her son. That's really creepy.
Wow.
Don't do that.
Harsh words. Any more?
Yeah.
Star Trek. Is that a prequel? It's a reboot.
Sort of.
Well, yeah, it starts
good.
off, doesn't it?
They're good.
Yeah, they're good. Like them.
J.J. Abrams.
He knows how to do stuff.
I'm really struggling now, actually.
I can't.
Which is why
I think there's a lot of...
Probably should have planned this out. Maybe there aren't that many prequels. I had this thing in my head where there's millions of prequels that I hate, and there's not that many prequels.
It's just there's 2 franchises.
Yeah.
I think there's some very obscure ones, and I think a lot of prequels are for horror films and stuff. think generally they just sort of
Yeah, we just looked
make
at a
prequels
list.
for horror.
And
If
it-
you want horror
Then.
films, go elsewhere.
Yeah, we
I
looked
don't
at
wanna
a
be
list,
scared.
and they were like 90% of them were horror film ones. Because I mean, the main
Yeah,
interesting bit is to see the backstory of a villain, I guess. If you don't include it in the film itself, and if it's horror, then you wouldn't anyway. So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
yeah.
That that's
I
the
saw
thing for it.
I saw a list that included the first Avenger as a prequel, just because it.
What?
So just because it happens to be set before it all doesn't mean it's a prequel.
It's an origin
It's an origin story for Captain America. It doesn't. Besides the fact that it gets Captain America to the modern day, it doesn't really have, and the Tesseract, it doesn't really have that much of an impact on the Marvel universe. Plus, it happens before that it was made before sort of the rest of it, so it's not really, well, apart from like Avengers anyway, it wasn't made before like Iron Man and stuff, obviously, but it doesn't have an impact on those films, so it's. I don't think you can really call it a prequel as such, just because it was made
That's like saying Batman
set
Begins
and
is a
made
prequel.
before.
Yeah.
I've seen lists saying Batman Begins is a prequel, and I go, yeah, in the sense that it happens before The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, but it was made before them as well.
But the whole
Yeah.
So
point of a prequel
in
is
that sense,
it's a play on the word
any-
sequel.
anything
Yeah.
that's got anything that's got a sequel
Yeah.
is then therefore a prequel. If you get, so pretty much every single film is a prequel, so it's just stupid lists on the internet.
I've got another
Not me.
prequel. Well, it's not really, because it's a TV show prequel. So there's The Walking Dead, which is still going on,
Right.
and then there's Fear the Walking Dead, which is like the prequel,
Kind of, yeah.
because it's about how the infection first started or whatever.
Shite. Absolutely shite.
Yeah, but the idea is quite good,
No, it's not shite.
isn't it?
No.
Because you lose all that with Rick. He wakes up and it's all
Yeah, but
happened
the whole...
already.
Yeah.
And that's really nice, the way that's done. But you also want the other story of how did it get to this point? Or do you not?
I
You're
think
not
it's fairly
interested?
obvious, though, isn't it? It's a tried and tested thing.
But
Like,
then-
every single zombie film, every single zombie thing, it
Has
happens
the
the same
slow-
way,
yeah.
doesn't it?
But
It all
isn't
happens
that
the same- all the
more
infrastructure's
scary
failed.
bit is seeing
No, the scary
how
bit's like what do you
gradual
do?
and how it
What
can
do you do
happen.
afterwards? That's the scary thing. The
I don't
first,
know,
the
I
first
think-
aspect is like really obvious, isn't it? Why do? You go and barricade somewhere, you collect supplies, you collect medical things. Everyone's out. Everyone's probably fairly reasonable at the first.
Yeah, but
the
that's-
interesting part's like when it goes past
Reasonability.
disaster. Disasters happen in everyday life all the time.
Yeah.
You look at earthquakes and stuff. A zombie apocalypse would just be the same thing as what happens in an earthquake, what's in the news. The interesting part is when civilization and infrastructure totally fail.
But it's not just like
That's
like
the
a
interesting
natural
thing.
disaster where it's like, here's zombies now, and like on the radio it's like, there's zombies, watch out for the zombies. It's like there's an illness and nobody knows what's happening and it spreads so
Yeah, but
fast
that's the
because
same
people don't
thing.
realise.
Well, you can still get that.
But I think it's an
No, because that's been
interesting.
shown loads of films and stuff. That's been tried and done like
Shut
many
down,
times. It's not
shut
very
down.
interesting. The interesting thing is like the people and what happens when civilization fails. That's the interesting part. That's why Fear the Walking Dead is a shit, and it's got shit characters. It's terrible.
I only watched like one episode.
It's not very good. It's not very good. Any more suggestions?
I don't think so. No.
No, I don't think so.
There's got to be more. I'm really struggling. Yeah. Anyway, prequels, good if they're good, bad if they're bad.
Write a good
Is that-
story.
Just like normal films.
Just like
Yeah.
normal films. It's funny that, isn't it? Funny that. Any other segments for the show?
I don't know, what does it say on your list?
I haven't written any of the segments down. Because this was... Do you want to do a podcast? Yeah, right. Let's do a podcast.
You didn't read out the...
Oh, yeah. Feedback. Let's do some feedback.
Yeah.
From Ken Major, who says... I've enjoyed recent Planet of the Apes, which he said, personally prefer reboots like Jurassic World set years later that uses nostalgia.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a good point.
Because that's what you want in a thing.
Because it kind of is like...
That's what you're looking for in a
Well, yeah, it's like The Force Awakens as well, which was kind of a... It's pretty much used so much nostalgia, but it was a sequel.
Yeah,
/ and Star Trek again was kind of a similar sort of thing.
yeah.
Lee McGonigal says, some are good. First Class Monsters University, which I haven't seen actually.
Oh no, I've not
Godfather
seen that.
2, which we said. Summer Utter Pish. Star Wars 1 to 3, yeah. Dumb and Dumber 2. I've not seen either.
Not
Dumb
seen
and
that
Dumber.
one.
And X-Men Wolverine, which I think Matt said. It says the
Yep.
problem is when an attempt to continue a story / world actually ends up being to the detriment of the original piece.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars,
Yeah.
which he does because
Yep.
Darth Vader just gets totally ruined as a character.
Yeah. And you lose the reveal.
Good points. Very good points. Is that the show?
I think that's everything.
That is the
That's everything.
What have you got to plug, Matt?
If you've listened to all of this podcast and you want to listen to another one, then you can go to the Fortnightly Forum on iTunes and SoundCloud and listen to that. And you get to hear us talking about current affairs and goings on in the world and getting angry about things. We'll have a new episode up tomorrow, although it was done before the election results. So, well, it was done on the day of the election, so the results hadn't been put out yet. So you can laugh at us making predictions and talking about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump before we knew who had won. So that's interesting. And then you also get to hear us rant about how human beings are the worst, which went on for a long time, as you can imagine. So yeah, check that out.
I think
Can't
I'm
wait
going
to
to do an
hear it.
episode of that with you at some point.
Are you? What are you
Yeah.
going to do it on?
We're going to do about anti-vaxxers.
Ooh,
A
fun.
special episode.
That sounds interesting.
Special. Yeah, because we have creating a new spin-off segment called Idiots of the World.
Ooh,
Where
there are
we
lots of those.
Offend idiots.
Yeah, because we started with Flat Earthers,
Oh yeah.
and that was fantastic. The responses I got from Flat Earthers just were incredible. Absolutely made my day.
Are you
One man
still
called you a
getting
cunt.
hate? Are you still getting hate? For
Yeah,
it?
one. No, I've stopped now. But the person that called me the C word, I just sent them little emojis of a fishing rod and some fish getting caught on the rod, and then they didn't reply to that.
I didn't get it.
Brilliant.
Anyway,
Yeah, they didn't get it. I insulted them. But yeah, check that out because that's funny. I think
Yeah,
I find it
is.
funny anyway. So
yeah.
Very good.
And also check out our YouTube channel, which is new. I don't know how you do a YouTube link. Don't know. Search for Real Film Podcasts, whatever. We've done which we mentioned before, we've done a playthrough of The Last of Us. It's pretty good. Watching it through, it's quite funny, I think.
Very funny.
Some witty banter.
Oh,
All aboard
all the
the
bands.
banter bus.
and it'll get better from here.
And
Next episode will be really. There's a hilarious part in next episode, or maybe it's after, depending on how it ends.
Yeah. There's some gold in there.
Yeah.
And Matt manages to die in a way that most people would probably find impossible to die at.
I feel like I should have got a PSN trophy for managing to die that way.
I feel like you
but
should have done, really.
I didn't.
I'm so intrigued. I'm
Yeah.
going to watch.
You have seen it.
Have I seen it already?
Right.
Yeah. You're so intrigued, you want to watch it again. Paying so much attention.
In this,
obviously.
in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I remember.
There it is.
Yeah.
On the ball as always. And you can find us on Twitter at realfilm_movies, Facebook, Real Film.
Blog.
No, I think it's
WordPress.
Real Film.
WordPress.
Real Film Movie Reviews, I think. I think it's facebook.com/Real Film Movie Reviews. Facebook, WordPress is realfilmmoviereviews.wordpress.com. We've got some reviews up. Nocturnal Animals Arrival will be up today. We've got the Last of Us playthrough on there if you can't find a link on YouTube. Also, subscribe to us on iTunes, Real Film Podcast. Leave us a review if you want. Patreon, if you want to give us $1 a month or something like that, or less, or more.
5 cents.
Yeah, to keep
2
us
cents.
paying for the website, paying for the blog,
Paying for
all of Matt's time,
schooling.
all of Matt's school, pay back some of Matt's student loan.
Yeah, I mean, have you had your
Yeah.
statement through the post yet, Matt?
I've actually not, but I don't really want it.
No, I
'cause
haven't
it's
actually.
going to be
I had it
depressing.
like 2 years ago.
My
so.
interest over this year that I've accrued has been £300, and so far I've paid back £8 of it.
Fantastic.
So
But yeah, if you want to help the show, help us do more stuff, help us get some better equipment, better software, do more stuff in general, then you can give.
Yeah.
Missed that. Do it again.
Sorry, I interrupted. I said help us with the crippling debt.
Help us with the crippling debt.
yeah.
That'd have been funny if it had flowed in the conversation.
never
Oh,
mind.
too late.
Oh yeah.
Fake laugh track. I'll edit it together. It'll be fine. Yeah. If you want to, if you don't, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
We don't care, but we do care because it'd be
We
nice if we
care,
did.
but we don't mind.
That's a good way of
There
putting
you
it. Yeah, that's it. That's the show. Next week we might do Harry Potter if we see Fantastic Beasts. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So Harry Potter in about a week and a half probably.
Hello, kitty.
Thanks for
Yeah.
listening, and we'll see you on YouTube. Hopefully, go and
Yes,
check it out.
see you then.
It's pretty funny. Even if you don't like games, just
Yeah.
watch it. Please watch it. We spent so much time doing it. And Matt spent like 3 weeks editing it. Make it worthwhile.
Please.
Shit.
Bye.
I thought it wasn't recording then.
That would have been